What's going on, fellas? So I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet for you guys. I have a 95 extended cab Ranger and it has the premium sound in it. So it has a factory amplifier. I installed my new aftermarket stereo and I'm having trouble with it having a ringing sound through the speakers. So the internet is correct. Your factory amplifier is going to be behind your passenger side rear speaker, and it's going to be right about here. You're going to get torn up reaching your hand in there, but it's about right here, and there's two plugs. So you're going to reach your hand in there, and they'll be on the bottom of the amplifier. Reach up under, you'll feel these tabs right here. Pull the tab down and pull it out. Both of the plugs, pull them both out. Alright, once you have them disconnected, it's going to feel tight in there, like you can't move them. It's got this little locking tab in here, right there. I broke mine off with a pair of snippers, but if you're strong enough, you can pull it, but I couldn't quite get mine out. So I snipped it off and pulled it out. So you're going to want to free it up, wiggle it around, get it loose, and then you're going to push it down behind your jumper seat here. Push it all the way down until you can feel it in the bottom there, and then pull it up through here. Then what you can do is, I know some people sell harnesses, but I couldn't find one. I couldn't find one that'll work for me. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna cut the wires that I need from this one here, the fatter one, and I'm gonna splice it into the wires on here that match. I have a color-coded diagram that I'm gonna put up on here for you guys so you can look at that. So these are the ones for your small plug, the square looking plug. This is the colors for that. So this one is going to be for your fatter plug. You're going to cut these wires off of it and you're going to splice it into the smaller plug and match them up. You can go back and pause and use this part. I'm going to take my snips. I'm going to trim back some of this electrical tape so I can get good access to my wires. Take our snippers, snip this guy right off. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the big plug. So now, since we have both plugs snipped off, we can prepare our wires to be spliced together. Get your wire strippers and strip all your wires. These three here, your green with purple stripe, dark blue, and brown with a green stripe. We're not going to need these because that's just power and ground. So you can get those aside, and we can tape the ends of these off or put a cap on them, whatever you guys would like to do. So what I'm doing is, not the most professional way, but it's going to keep them from making contact. Put a little bit of electrical tape around the tips, and then one more piece around all three, just to keep them together and keep them out of the way. We got this side stripped down. Now we'll get the other side stripped down. So now that you have all of your wires stripped, you're going to go to that diagram I put up with the colors, and you're going to match each signal to each wire and splice them all together. So I like to put all my standard red connectors on first, make sure they're tight, put them all on one side to have them ready. Then when you're doing this step, when you're splicing all these in, make sure that the colors are correct. Make sure when you're looking at that diagram, you don't get mixed up with negative and positive. You don't want to mess anything in your speaker system up. And we don't want to come back here again and fool with this. So let's get these connected here. So now that we have all of our wires spliced together, tight and secure, so nothing comes loose, you want it to be nice and tight. Make sure all your connectors are crimped properly. We have one more step to complete this job. So if you have some extra wire laying around, you're going to need it. What you're going to need to do is run a new wire from the yellow wire that comes from the harness out of your stereo. And you're going to need to run a new constant power source to your radio. And that's the last thing you'll do. You'll take this extra wire that you have, or if you need to go buy some, you'll connect it to the yellow wire here, and then you'll run it to your fuse box or any other 12-volt source you have. I connected to a 10-amp fuse right here that has constant power. And what that'll do is keep the time on your radio. It'll keep your equalizer settings, and everything will function properly. So now with our radio plugged in, and we'll turn the key on the truck. we have power, and I just ran a test before I took this video, and we have good clean sound coming out, and this operation was a success. I hope this helps you guys out. I didn't see any other videos on YouTube for a 95 Ford Ranger, or any videos with the factory amp right there behind the rear speaker. So I really hope this helps you guys. Let me know what you guys thought, and thanks and take care.